It will be another preliminary final showdown on Saturday night with another spot in the Toyota AFL Grand Final ready to be offered and on the table as the Geelong Cats will take on the Brisbane Lions at the MCG. Now, a little bit of overall background and difference for these two teams of what's happened in this final series before we get into this matchup. For the Geelong Cats, they are coming off a massive 84, almost 80-point preliminary qualifying final win out of nowhere against the Flyaway Power. That put them into a home preliminary final. Whilst the Brisbane Lions, after destroying Carlton in week 1, are coming off a 44-point comeback against the GWS Giants in the second semi-final to get to this point. Going into the overall matchups around the ground for a showdown like this, I wanted to provide a stat I heard about Geelong's midfield that I think should be very interesting reading. So, according to Daniel Hoyne of Champion Data, since Patrick Dangerfield has come back since round 16, they are clearly the number 1 team for points differential at clearance for Geelong Football Club. Their ability to put it on the scoreboard and their ability to defend it. No one is harder to score against at clearance than Geelong. And their raw clearance differential in terms of how many that you win and lose is top 4 in the competition. Looking at stats like that confirms one thing. The little talking point that you can get Geelong in the midfield is an absolute myth. Since they, with Patrick Dangerfield, actually have a premiership-worthy midfield and one that can come in and do its job, and even Reece Stanley is playing well enough as a ruckman to suggest that he might be a 2-time premiership player in a few weeks as well. That being said, Brisbane's midfield, no slouch obviously, with Lachie Neale, Hugh McCluggage, Will Ashcroft and the Big O leading in the ruck department. The Cats' defense consists of Kaycon Jasny and Tom Stewart, who will come back for intercept marking ability and will be very prolonged and hard to stop. And Jed Hughes, who can play a strong tagging role as well. Whilst the Brisbane Lions defense has been headed up by Harris Andrew, who recently signed a 4-year extension over the last week, with Ryan Lester and Brendan Starcevich to figure out who may play what is the most important role of the game. As for the Cats forward line, it needs no introduction, headed by Jeremy Cameron and Sean Manor into clearance, with Jeremy Cameron at the moment I think arguably being the best player in the game in terms of how he just dominates upon play. Whilst for the Brisbane Lions, Joe Danaher was the match winner last week, and he'll be joined back by Harris Andrews with Eric Kipwood with Charlie Cameron in the small forward department doing roles as well. Overall, when it comes to matchup on matchup, I think these two midfields go absolutely even and absolutely on top par with each other. They can match each other on each stoppages. I think Brisbane's got the better midfield on paper, but the stats suggest that Geelong is no slouch in this department as well, and you will see it throughout this game. When it comes to the Cats defense and the Lions forward line, I think this is also a little bit even as well. I think this is one of the 2 factors where this game could come down to, as you could definitely see an outcome where the Cats defenders are able to stop Joe Danaher and Eric Kipwood and really make life for them difficult or throughout. But you can also see a timeline where Joe Danaher and also their small forward and Charlie Cameron get off the leash and really score on contested possession all the time. As for the Brisbane defenders on the Cats forward line, this is a part of the game where I am genuinely worried for the Brisbane Lions. Because I just look at this matchup and I legitimately think I don't know who goes on Jeremy Cameron and who is able to stop Jeremy Cameron in this matchup. Like Brendan Starshfish, and like I think there's a genuine worry about like how the Lions defenders can stop Jeremy Cameron, and I think there's a legitimate chance that he might just get off the leash and just absolutely dominate like he did in the Port game. Because I don't know what like defender like Brisbane puts on Jeremy Cameron. Overall, I think this is one of the biggest areas of the game to address, and I reckon there's a big chance this is where the game is overall won. Because, yeah, it might just... If Brisbane's defenders can stop Jeremy Cameron from doing what he normally does, and Geelong's small forwards in, like Sean Manor as well, and the small forwards in Ollie Dempsey and Lawson Humphries, then I reckon there's a big chance that they end up winning this game. If not, then I reckon the Cats will probably run away with it. When it comes to the overall storylines heading into this game and the overall build-up, both these teams are playing in their third preliminary final since 2020, which is just insane, and these two sides have been arguably the most consistent sides in the competition in the new decade. Geelong have obviously been a consistent side for my lifetime. This is their 12th prelim appearance in 14 years. But Brisbane, their consistency in the new decade has been something to marvel at, and since 2019 they have the most wins out of any club in the AFL. Putting it all together with a second grand final appearance in a row after that heartbreaking defeat to Collingwood last year is what will be on their mind. And if they do it, they will become the fourth side from outside of the top four to qualify for the grand final. And in a season just full of getting over just all the obstacles and all the troubles, getting over adversity pretty much, it will be a true triumph for Brisbane to win this game and play off in a grand final. For Geelong, they played a playoff in yet another grand final in this legendary era and play in a second grand final in 3 years. A true mark of a phenomenal football club, and they hope to stake their claim to it overall. In what could be Patrick Dangerfield's first premiership as captain, and be a fairy tale send-off for the retiring Tom Hawkins, who might not play for the rest of the season. He tried, but ironically, he might be going out Cameron Mooney style. Cameron Mooney got jumped on the pecking order for Tom Hawkins late in his career and had to give up his spot in the 2011 grand final for Hawkins. And now Hawkins has been jumped in the pecking order by Sean Manor and might be giving up his spot in this grand final for Sean Manor. So yeah, both Geelong looking to win another premiership for this incredible dynasty. Brisbane trying to get to another grand final and solidify that premiership once and for all in the Fagan era after so much winning. Overall, both sides match up with each other extremely well and have been such well-diverse, respected sides throughout this millennium that only one can go through to the grand final. As for my prediction for who I think that will be ultimately, I think the Lions can do it. I think they have the midfield to do. They can dominate in the midfield despite like Geelong's strength in this field based on stats, and I think they can definitely get their hands. I think Cameron can dominate, and they can dominate on contested possession and pressure. Yet despite that, I don't think they have any answer for Jeremy Cameron. And that is when I predicted this on the lies. Cats by 12. I just think Jeremy Cameron will dominate, and I reckon it will be a Geelong victory as they head to another grand final. The winner of this game will play in the Toyota AFL Grand Final, with it all on the line on Saturday night.